Perfect. Wonderful. Okay.
All right.
All right. I am going to real quick screen share. So give me one moment. Okay. There we go. Okay. So today's workshop is on posting isn't a business model. My name's Taylor Bruni from the Medical Minder Virtual Agency. I help physicians with their marketing, their social media, their funnels, and just guidance on helping them with their businesses and their practices. So this workshop is going to go over why every female physician needs a funnel and some easy funnels to begin with so that they're non-complex and easy to understand. So welcome everyone. So a few things we're going to be talking about. Consistency on social media still doesn't equal income. And that was mentioned in our introductions earlier. But yeah, consistency on social media, just posting doesn't equal income. So I'm going to go over kind of up leveling what you can do to add those leads and bring in the sales, which is the missing link between content and conversions. And those are the funnels. Okay, so the social media myth, and a lot of gurus, a lot of influencers basically just post and they say all you need to do is create content like this, post every day, and you'll have successful businesses. Maybe for some influencers that are lifestyle that don't really have, you know, a business model who go viral overnight, but this isn't the case for a majority of people. You need to have extra steps, extra systems in place. So, you know, likes do not equal leads, views do not equal sales, and burnout definitely happens when there's no back-end system or flow. And a lot of physicians come, you know, to me throughout the years, and it is a misconception that, oh, if they get more likes, more views, more comments, they're going to have more leads. And there's just a few steps to implement to be able to convert those likes, those views, those comments into the actual leads. So it hits female physicians especially hard because you guys have limited time, high emotional labor. By the time you're home after clinic, after meeting with patients, you guys are tired, exhausted. You know, having that constant visibility pressure is exhausting and draining after being around serving, you know, in the service industry with patients. So funnels, they help protect your energy and your time. So what a funnel really is, very simple terms, it's a guided pathway. So it takes someone new from an awareness of who you are, that you exist, to trusting you, building a relationship with you online, to action, to purchasing, to signing up for your email, to downloading your guide, etc. So this works, you know, even when you're offline. Like funnels, you can automate so that they're evergreen and automated, you know, to run while you're working with patients in clinic. So this also, you know, funnels turn content into the connection and conversion. So it just connects everything. So posting without a funnel looks like these things: just random content, no clear call to action, no email list growth, no consistent income, starting over every month. Now, for the beginners on social media who have no online presence, who want to get out there, you know, it's okay to start out posting just to, you know, get comfortable with it. That's okay. But eventually you will want to even just set up just a simple little funnel, like an email funnel where people, you know, comment on your post and then you send them like a little guide, and then they become, you know, and they go into your email list. And that's just the basic first funnel setup, super easy. So don't worry if you are just beginning to post on social media for your businesses or practices, like there's no pressure. but eventually you'll want to start thinking the strategy, the business model behind the social media construct, and what types of funnels you want to implement. So posting with a funnel then looks like this. Success. Clear messaging, one main CTA to begin. So one main, call to action. Leads are captured automatically for you in the funnel. Then you begin to, build these nurtured relationships as you post content and as you, send emails out, like your newsletters. And then they start to give you predictable results so that you have an automated system built. So the core funnels every physician needs, and once again, you can build these at different stages in your business, and depending on your business goals. Not always do you need all of them out at once. But if you're going to have social media, you definitely want a social media funnel. I'm going to go over each one of these in detail for you in the following slides, but I figured I'd post all of them right here. So social media funnel, your email list building funnel. If you sell digital products, that funnel as well. And then scalable education funnel. And this is just for, other types of, services offerings, even like research, enrolling people into research trials that you're doing. So it can go on to so many different types of funnels, but these types of funnels are really helpful to start out with. So social media funnels, just a quick overview. So social media is the top of the funnel. So that means, that's what's bringing awareness. Your social media brings people to you. It makes them learn who you are, what your niche is, what your specialty, what type of thought leader you are, who you are as a practitioner, and how, the patients who are the viewers or the clients who are the viewers, like what they're going to get from following you or purchasing or signing up as a patient from you. So it's the top of the funnel. It's not the end destination. So social media does work and integrate throughout the funnel, of course, but it's not its own separate funnel, if that makes sense. A funnel connects you, and social media is a part of the funnel. And its job is to move people from the online platform like Instagram to your emails, to buying your course, or to becoming a patient. So social media funnel example, so Instagram or Facebook content, and then doing a DM automation and then leading them into the email list. This is the most simple, easiest one to set up. And, you can do this easily with ManyChat. There's other programs as well, but ManyChat is tried and true, and it brings good results, and it's very user friendly so that if your assistant is handling it, they can figure it out, and you too as well can understand as well. So, that looks like an educational post or reel, the comment or DM for the resource. I'm sure all of you have seen that. And then it does an automated response and then captures the email, sends them a link to where they're sending them, whether it's a lead opt-in web page or just the file right there. And then the lead is captured and you have the email. So using ManyChat for DM automation, it is a program that automates, instant messages on Instagram and Facebook, and then it also delivers free resources instantly. It reduces manual replies, which is very taxing for you, especially when you're in clinic, and people are sending tons of messages and, send tons of comments, and you can't answer all of them. And even the team too, running it. So this helps because you can reduce the manual replies and do some vetting as well. And then it improves response rates and even engagement rates, which is nice. Okay, so this is a note that I wanted to add into this webinar because even though ManyChat captures, the contact info, the name, the email, etc., email contacts must be manually imported into your email platform. So unless you have, another funnel and integration, which is a little bit more complex, And that's, a third-party tool called Zapier, and you connect all the different platforms so that it automates in itself, and that you don't have to manually do it. But I suggest saving money and just manually download the email contacts right from ManyChat, or have your assistant do it, because it's super easy. Just go into ManyChat, download the CSV, upload the CSV file into your email contacts. Like if you have your list on MailChimp or Flowdesk, it's very easy. And then you just make sure they have, a tag, so you know that they're from ManyChat. So this step is often missed. And a lot of clients, when I first started implementing this, I would have to remind them, oh, okay, so I am the one that downloads the emails and put it in, and I do it, once or twice a month for you, so you don't have to worry. And then they're like, oh, okay, because a lot of people think it automatically does it, and it doesn't. So that's just an important note if you decide to use it. So email list funnels is a next one. Now, this is another great one because, once again, you're building your email list, and the email is owned audience, so that, they are apart from Meta, apart from TikTok, apart from YouTube. They're actually in your email and your owned audience. Now, algorithms don't control delivery. So as you know, I'm sure you've experienced, Meta, how they've changed their algorithms so many times. They do so many updates. There's so many random glitches and just changes for everything. Now having, an email list funnel and getting these contacts from Instagram off that platform and into your email helps, because, the algorithm sometimes changes and makes, time of conversion slower, just depending on different updates that they do, and how your content is being spread, like at a fast rate or a slow rate. So yes, you have highest conversion rates when you get them into your email lists and you want to nurture them. And it's always, a foundation of all the funnels. And then easy email list funnel to start with. So free resource, a little PDF guide or a checklist or a quiz, and then email sign up. And then welcome sequence. So this is where, you welcome them to your newsletter and, introduce yourself, and then they become familiar with who you are and start to receive your newsletters. Now, like I said, checklist, guide, PDF, these are automated emails that you want to set. That's its own funnel of the welcome sequence. It's just all connected and all a breeze. And this, builds the relationship. And then you can add in the emails and the nurture sequence, soft call to actions to your next offer, which is booking with you, book a discovery call with you, become a new patient, see your next webinar that you're giving, etc. So what makes a lead magnet convert? Lead magnets solve one specific problem, so it's easy to just streamline with just one problem. So you can make tons of lead magnets on different problems that you're solving. But you do want to start with at least one, specific problem, a quick win, so that they know that they're going from part A to part B, and that they know that you'll get them to that spot. And then that's the clear transformation. And then after that, it is directly connected to your paid offer, so that their next step is just, they know what to do. Oh, okay, I need to buy their course after the webinar, etc. So funnels for digital products like courses, ebooks, different things like that. So a workshop replay, these are types of entry level things that offer, build trust. Entry level offers build trust. So having the funnels for the digital products, you just need them in order to make sales. And you need, what I've seen is you need a few different ones, and especially the ones that we're talking about today. So like a digital ebook funnel example, social media post about it, get the freebie. So connect the ManyChat DM automation, it captures their email, they get the freebie, and then your ebook offer is right there. So they love the freebie and they want more of it, so they get the ebook offer. So it's just an added extra step from the freebie. And doing educational posts, educating on topics in your ebook are really helpful, so that they feel like they're learning something and getting value. And then you want to, of course, email, nurture them, a few times, depending on your goals, depending on what your newsletter, email campaign, and marketing is set up for. You want to, send out some ebook promotional emails to this nurtured audience every so often. So now an online course funnel example, very similar, but it's just the course. So content, social media, or even an ad, lead magnet with the email, sequence, and the course. So you're going to be building trust through this funnel pathway so that they want to buy the big kahuna, the product, the course, and even offering, like if you have one-on-one coaching, you can even add that on after the course as, an additional aspect of the funnel. And that's just a little bit more of a complex funnel, is just when you keep adding on like next steps. That's just the complex funnel. But it's more simplified. It's just adding on, one-on-one coaching after. So for this online course, once again, topic specific content, free resource or training, and then value-based emails. You always want to make them feel like they're getting so much information and value from you. Otherwise, they're going to, unsubscribe. And then course enrollment. So, that last funnel, this funnel, the online course, this can be used for live courses, cohorts, etc., hybrid, or evergreen as well. But specific evergreen, what does really well is evergreen webinar, where it's not a live webinar. So that means, it's just constantly running in the background and going, and then the funnel is just automated. So it's like a pre-recorded webinar just running in the background. And it works the same. Evergreen webinar, they watch, they go, into the email list, or email lists, and then evergreen watch. Automated emails are sent to them, nurture sequences, and then the course sign up. So this works year round. You can do different promotions with this. You bundle things, etc. But it's predictable, scalable, and super ideal for busy physicians that have, digital products, especially the evergreen course. And then the evergreen funnels do matter. They're truly the best because, it's sales without constant postings, sales without having a live webinar, every few weeks. I mean, it's good to have live webinars as well. You want to test both, but the evergreen funnels really do help bring in the automated sales and the consistent lead flow. And it reduces the launch stress. It's sustainable growth you can grow on. And you do want to have visibility around your course, webinars, lead magnets on your social media. Don't just abandon it. Keep promotional posts going. So that leads me into the common mistakes physicians make that I've seen. Too many call to actions, messaging is mismatched. You're saying one thing, but the course is doing something else. Just too many call to actions, no clear next step for them, because you want to lay it out. You want to lay the whole funnel and the steps out. Not doing follow-up emails or nurture sequences after they get into your list, and then overcomplicating tech, not having a team to help you set it up where it's just automated and it works well and it's simple. And then, like I said before, abandoning promotion of it, which a lot of physicians do because they just get tired of making content on their course or their webinar, but it takes quite a few times for someone to buy something. So it's a sales marketing rule. You want to continually post promotional posts throughout the year. You want to let people know that you do have a course, you do have an ebook, you do have a wonderful email list and a, recorded webinar. You want to share everything. You want to consistently remind them, whether it's like on your highlights, your stories, and then just like reels or carousel posts, like mock-ups. You just want to, consistently remind them, and in email marketing as well. Otherwise, they're going to forget. And you don't want that. So keep your first, keep your first simple, your funnel simple. One platform, one lead magnet, one email sequence, one paid offer. It just is really good to have one simple funnel and just, try different things for it. Try different posts for it, try different ads with it, and see what your audience responds best to. And then once you just solidify this funnel and you see growth upon growth and numbers and leads and purchases, then you can replicate it and then add more to it, like another step. Because each audience is different, each product, each offering, each physician's goals with their business are all different. So you want to try out different funnels and things to see. So how funnels support your work-life balance? So yes, they're less reactive marketing. It gives you a chance to not get so burnt out from just constantly marketing all the time. It's just in the background, with those few promotional posts that you run. And then it's more intentional visibility, which helps you and that, do well on online platforms and with algorithms. And, it's very intentional, just making the connections and bringing in the audience, the right audience. And it's content with purpose. So when you add funnels to your social media, it brings purpose. It brings, the business aspect. It brings another opportunity for you to get patients, for you to get clients, instead of just posting, what you had for breakfast or that, you went to like a conference. Like those are great, but there's no real goal and it's random. You want to strategically place those types of posts within your, social media marketing strategy. But you definitely want to have funnels established so that you're, not only posting, but you're bringing in audience, you're bringing in those leads so that you can build a sustainable automated business and a bigger practice. So what success with funnels actually looks like. So that's steady email growth, you're warming up the leads, consistent sales, less pressure to perform online, which is great for all physicians because we know social media burns everyone out. And it's just a lot. Social media is a full-time job, and having funnels just helps you to be able to have that, less pressure to perform, which is really nice. So, I'm always here to help. I have my email on my next slide. If you have any questions, just feel free to email me and ask, and I'm happy to answer. But I do help physicians and entrepreneurs with funnel strategies, the tech setup and integration of these funnels. I help set up with ManyChat email funnels. I build digital product funnels, basically all the funnels. And so social media, I help, so that everything is just cohesive and right and set up good for you. And here's my email. So if you have questions, just email me and I'm happy to connect. So yes.
We can answer questions here. Anybody have any questions?
Okay, let me stop sharing. Sorry about that. There we go. I can see you now. Yeah, if you have questions, yeah, definitely ask. But if you can't think of any, don't worry.
No, we're definitely gonna have a conversation. What when let's see.
Oh, Kia.
Yeah, I know. I thought she was here though. I don't know. Oh, is she raising? Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So I was just going to ask, when you're starting out, you mentioned like the different funnels for different ideas. But say you're starting out with an evergreen course and you want to do a funnel, what would you suggest in terms of like an ad budget for one, and how
Okay.
often would you recommend posting an ad? And then my second question is, if you have it on a platform, um, please forgive me because I'm not 100% sure, but I think my virtual assistant has something on Kit. How does that kind of relate to what you were discussing
Yeah.
in general?
So yeah, great questions. So first with the ads, now the ad strategy, can be different because that's going to depend on what type of product, how long your ad budget, how many leads in your email. So that has to be evaluated first. But I would recommend starting out, if you just are starting out with ads, you definitely want to build up, especially if you do it on Meta, because it's like the more ads you do before you do sales ads, it helps you. It knows the algorithm basically knows what you need, the audience you're looking for. And it's hard to explain, but with Meta, you want to do traffic ads and lead ads first for your course and your webinar, your digital product. So you want to drive traffic to the website. You want to drive traffic to the lead magnet. And then you want to do the lead ad campaign. And that is for getting people into your email. And then once you do those ads, then you want to do the third type of ad, the sales ad, where people purchase. And that's the more converting ad for actual purchases. Because the more you run ads, and you'll change them throughout, so the budget will change depending on your metrics showing. So if your ad is doing really well, you'll want to scale up like every 3 days, a certain amount of percentage, so that it works well with the algorithm, because everything you're doing with ads trains the algorithm. So it's hard to say, but I suggest if you're just starting out with your course and you want to just start, do traffic ad, maybe like $15 a day for 3 days, just to read the metrics. And then like a lead campaign ad, I would do a week at maybe $15, 25, and then you just scale up from that. And your metrics, once again, if someone knows how to read the metrics properly, it will tell you if you need to scale up or cancel that ad and start a new one. And then it'll, suggest, budget increase, etc. So that's more tailored and strategic and having to read the metrics. But those are like basic if you want to start with like $15 a day and then scale up. And then, so for like, if you have different platforms, with funnels, so you want to integrate all the different platforms that you have. So like if you have an email platform like MailChimp, and then you have like a course platform like Teachable, you want to be able to connect them with like a third party integration system like Zapier. So this is where it gets more complicated, is connecting all the platforms together so that it does a streamlined process. Hopefully that makes sense.
Okay, I'm going to add that the traffic ads are generally cheaper than a lead ad.
Yeah.
Right. So
It's
the idea,
$5.
think about like how big Facebook is. Like if you're going to do Facebook ads, I'm not even talking about Instagram or whatever. And if you said, okay, we're going to do weight loss, do you know how many people are? First of all, you have to be careful with weight loss. I don't know what that is with Facebook years
Certain
ago.
words. Yeah. And phrases.
You don't have to be very careful with the ads, the choices of terminology, because the ad won't be accepted. They don't want like fat shaming. They don't want people to feel bad. Like they want the experience on Facebook to be a good one, so that when you come to, you're not worried about, they're targeting me to lose weight or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's part of it, but also, so the group is so big, and so if you put something out there, how does like Facebook knows how, like from the data
Right.
and stuff, but they don't exactly know who to target. So then you put something out there like a target, like very similar to your course, whether it's an ebook or whatever,
Mhm.
or just target ads. Like I this is what I do, and this way you'll start drawing,
Mhm.
and then Facebook will know who to, when you do the more expensive, the lead ads, who to
Mhm.
kind of target, like that
Mhm.
demographic.
Yeah,
Even
so
though
exactly, the target traffic ads help with that, and it identifies the audience that, you want for specific products. Yeah,
that
completely.
you would be most likely to sell to.
Mhm.
So that's why it's good to do traffic, because it's cheaper and
Mhm.
it'll help define that audience on Facebook, at least. Like in your head who your target or avatar market is, like who the avatar is. But
Mhm.
that doesn't mean that Facebook can just go out and get that person or that
No, and
group.
that's exactly, and that's kind of what I was saying or trying to say is, um, especially if you're brand new, you want to build credibility with, like trust with the Meta algorithm because they flag everything. So you want to make sure you have someone who really knows how to strategically do ads, start for you so that you don't get flagged and shut down. But the more like traffic targeting ads that you do, it's great because then it trains Meta, and then it also helps build that trust with Meta so that you can then go on to running more leads and sales sooner. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah.
That makes perfect
Does
sense. Thank you.
does everyone here have an idea of like what type of freebie they can do? Is anybody stuck with that? There's so many different things. Taylor
I know.
mentioned basically all of them. Ebooks are easy. Just think like a PDF. Canva has some like great things. Taylor, you've produced some really great ones as well.
Oh, thank you.
Webinars like this one, right? Like you guys had to sign up for an email or you're already on my list. So those were, I think for physicians, it's great because it gives you an opportunity, like Taylor comes in, gives you an opportunity like to meet Taylor, and you would have the same if you did a webinar. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a bit more planning. And Taylor, I am going to put you on the spot. When you started with us,
Yeah.
you didn't like public speaking at all. Like you didn't like it at all. And
No.
I just keep pushing. I'm like, just do it. And like you're a pro now.
Oh, you're so
No,
nice.
you are. You're an absolute pro. So yeah, Susan, you have a
Oh
hand
yeah,
up.
Susan.
Are you able to take yourself off mute? Uh, you could also put it in the chat, but if
Yeah.
whether you're on a phone or, you should be able to scroll just like Zoom and find out.
So she commented, oh, okay, don't worry, don't worry. So you're stuck with the ebook ideas or digital product ideas, and don't worry. So you can put it in here and we can brainstorm, or you can always email me and I can give you guidance with that. Especially, if you want to give more information on, your practice, your business, that will be helpful too. Because there's just so many ways you can figure out depending on your brand, content pillars, your goals, etc.
Should be similar on a line though, right? Because you don't want, that's the target you're going to go for. If you're doing weight loss, stick with weight loss, or
Well, I
some
think someone else was doing
healthy
weight loss.
recipes.
Kia was doing weight
Yeah.
loss, I believe. I don't know
Susan,
if
you able to type what you're doing in the comments?
while she types, I'll answer A Biswas. Sorry if I say that wrong. How Oh, here, perfect. Okay, I'll come back to you. A. Okay, hold on. I started psychiatry, private practice, focus on wonderful. Yes,
Yeah, definitely needed. Is
so
there an
many things.
area you could focus down, like even if you go now,
Yeah,
because there's a fair amount of that on Instagram. So could you go even deeper, like something that you're truly,
yeah,
and I may have asked you this before when you've been if you've been at previous meetings, drill down a little bit more. If you had to pick one person, not that you're just going to be catering to one person, but what's your ideal population? Is it mental health that have addiction, postpartum mental health? Uh, if you could think of that, because that also helps too.
yeah. I'm writing it down.
Pregnant and postpartum period. Yeah. So then it would all be about, the stress that women have to, that they don't have to go through, but women go through stress having a child, right? Like perinatal, what's going to happen here? My life is going to change. Do I have a supportive husband or not? The stress, the changes, hormone changes. And then afterwards too. Taylor, take it away because I'm over talking you.
Oh no, you're doing amazing. Yeah. So I worked with a women's pregnancy postpartum psychiatrist actually before to help develop her course to teach practitioners more about the postpartum and the mental health aspects that go into it that's not really discussed. And so you can dive deep. Yes, exactly. Yes. And so you can really be specific about what types of mental health disorders can arise from postpartum pregnancy, and steps to take and signs to watch out for if you want to go that route, because that is not discussed a lot. Like that, you wouldn't even know that there's specific mental health postpartum and pregnancy disorders that come about, especially with the anxiety. You can definitely make like a guide on pregnancy and postpartum anxiety. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Basically the topics that you are really educated on, you love teaching, you're passionate about, and even the topics that you see have been discussed the most in your practice, with those types of clients coming in, like if you see more clients in postpartum anxiety coming in, or, prenatal mood swings, anger, you could do it on all sorts of things. You could do like diet, wellness, lifestyle tips to help reduce pregnancy anxiety and postpartum anxiety. You could really do it on postpartum depression, how to navigate that. You could do postpartum depression for caregivers, for partners. How do they navigate the postpartum mood swings or depression, so that they can be better husbands? Like how can they support the person who's going through the pregnancy and the postpartum? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You can do all of those as the freebies. You can do even workshops. You can do content. So all those different types of topics. Hopefully that helps. Yes. Okay, hold on. I think you just, oh yes, you're welcome.
And we're in the, physicians, but I think about the women. Unfortunately, there's a high suicidal rate. I don't know that
Yes.
everybody knows that. I don't even know that their husbands know that. Like
Exactly.
it's just something that definitely can bring public awareness to.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there was one other question from A. Biswas. So sorry once again if I say it wrong. She asked, how do you get into the funnels, if you are not active on social media? That's totally okay, because you can still have funnels outside of social media, especially if you, are having, if you have a practice, you can establish, an ad funnel. So like we mentioned before, doing traffic funnels, bringing people to your website from the ad, and then them, signing up for, if you do a discovery call, or if you do email list, newsletter, practice newsletter, you can bring them to that, so that they're in the system. The discovery, doing the ad to the discovery call where they book the discovery call before they become a patient with you. You could do, once again, another lead ad to get them into, you could do like a recorded workshop, training, webinar on, a disease disorder that you treat, and just have like a web page and have like a little opt-in, and then get people to watch that into the email list. And then from that, you nurture them into becoming, your patient, and, have this disorder of rheumatoid arthritis, learn about it in my webinar, become my patient, have a one-on-one discovery call to see if, et cetera. So you can set up all these different funnels outside of social media. You don't need social media. It just really does help bring it in quicker.
Workbooks too are great. And the
Yes.
reason why I say that is because once you have one, like, yes, there are a lot of work in the beginning, but once you have a template and the branding is there, you can just kind of recirculate just with different questions, putting in there. I've done that, change the pictures
That's great.
around. So
And
yeah.
quizzes too.
Yeah. Quizzes.
Yeah, quizzes. Like one of my clients, rheumatologist, she is great at these quizzes. So she, did like a JIA quiz, juvenile arthritis, for parents to take, is your child's autoimmune care, are they getting the best care? That's a quiz. And then it brings them into the email list and then into, the newsletter for the clinic, the practice, and then offers, here's the course, here's the webinar trainings, here's download free guides that you can have. And then they have all these resources, or they can book a discovery call. So the quizzes do really well as well. And that's just a page on your website where you can lead people and they just take the quiz and then the answer is emailed to them.
Which means they have to give their email.
I'm going to put my email. Oops, sorry, Sharon. I'll put my email in the chat if you guys have more questions. Yeah, because there's just so much you can do outside of social media. No pressure to have social media. It's just good and helpful and makes things go faster. And your awareness grows more. So online.
Any other questions? Meryl, anything? Kia, Season? Right. Taylor, this is wonderful as always. There'll be a replay. I know some people came in late. There'll be a replay. And in April, I had mentioned going to be talking about building up your email list, which is important, right? That's what we're talking about here. So
yeah,
some other ideas for building up that email list.
Yeah, so I'll be going a little bit more in depth for the email because that's usually the first, easiest, simplest, nice funnel for everyone to set up. As soon as they get their practice or business running, you just always want to have ways to set up your email list so you get people and leads coming in. So I'll just be going into more detail on specific email list building.
All right. Next week, we have another conversation regarding app development. I think it's Tuesday we're doing it. So take a look at that. It'll be in the newsletter over the weekend, and the replay will be there as well. Taylor, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Always great to see you.
Yeah, it's lovely. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful night.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Taylor.
Good night.
See you. Bye-bye.